بینندگان عزیز، خوشحال هستم که به اطلاع شما عزیزان برسانم بعد از تلفن‌های فراوانی که از شما عزیزان داشتیم و از ما درخواست داشتید که بار دیگه با جناب ربای الیاهوکین گفتگوی دیگری داشته باشیم. ایشون امروز اینجا تشریف دارند و ایشان دانشمند علوم مذهبی کبالیست و متخصص در عرفان یهودیت هستند که با آشنایی به کامل به 7 زبان زنده دنیا می باشند. شالوم ربای.
Shalom.
Welcome to our show
Thank you
one
very
more
much.
time. People are asking about you all the time. They love to hear your voice, see your face, and you talk so much nice. Would you please tell us what you are going to talk about it tonight?
Well, tonight I think we should focus on relationships, marriages,
Yes.
why they're breaking down, what's going on. There must be some problem going on that
Yes.
needs to be tackled, needs to be dealt with. Otherwise, many people will be very, very disappointed, sad. Children are going to be growing up without parents. So this is a big problem. I think this is a bigger, more serious problem than the economy.
Yes.
And those who want to hear some of my lectures, they definitely can access them on the internet.
Yes.
Many of the video lectures of the past are on YouTube. All they need to do is put in Rabbi Kin.
That's all?
Eliyahu, and they will find many lectures on many
That's
topics
great.
in English, in Hebrew, in
Yes.
Spanish, and maybe later in Farsi too.
And you speak 7 languages. Oh my God, it's not so easy.
Yes.
So what you see, what is the problem that so much divorce is going on? And before that, I want to ask you, is divorce a bad thing or good?
The divorce is always the last resort. It is
Yeah.
a solution to a problem that is beyond repair. So the Torah makes this option available to a
Yes.
couple where things have gone so wrong that it's beyond repair. It cannot be reconciled, the differences. The situation is so bad that it's better for them to live apart than to live together. So it is possible, but it's the last resort. Hopefully 1 in a million. It should not happen so often as it does today.
Yes.
It did not happen in the past. When you were growing up as a child, you did not hear, I'm sure, so many divorces
No.
like we hear today. So something has changed. And I don't think everyone is aware of what has changed. And that is why many people are surprised. What's wrong? What are we doing wrong? And obviously there is a list, unfortunately, a list of things that are not being done right.
Yes, too much stress.
Well, the stress is true, but what's causing the stress? The stress is being caused by an emphasis, too much emphasis on materialism.
Materialism. I just want to say
materialism.
it. Yes.
Money has become an idol today. Everybody wants to have money, a big house, a fancy car, a new car. The women want to have the best jewelry. So there's pressure, there's stress, especially if they cannot afford it. This can cause many
Yes.
problems between the husband and wife.
But you know, most of the things that even needed is not materialist, you say. People need the car, people need phone, but what we can do, how can we solve our problems? But it's not only materialist.
No, it's
many
not.
things is going on.
That's correct. There are many factors. And I think one of the most important
Yes.
factors is that people are not guided. They lack guidance, or as it's called in Farsi, rahnama,
Yes.
right? They need guidance. And the ideal situation would be for a husband and wife before they go under the chuppah, before he places the ring on her finger,
Yes.
for the two of them to receive guidance from a professional, ideally from a rabbi, who can guide them and teach them not only how to conduct themselves according to the Torah,
Yes.
the mikveh, etc., but also how to treat each other. Men and women speak different languages, even though they're from the same city,
I
the
know.
same background. But a
know.
man and a woman are very different. There's so many times they will suffer just from misunderstandings. That's it, misunderstandings. They didn't understand, they didn't communicate well.
Why? Why they don't communicate? Why?
Well,
What is wrong?
The problem is many times that the man who's so busy does not take out time from his day
That's
to
true.
communicate with his wife. What's the most important thing for a woman is to give her attention. She's hungry for attention. The husband can give her all the jewelry in the world and the fanciest cars and the nicest fur coat, but if he doesn't treat her respectfully, if he doesn't give her attention, all of that is worthless.
Kindness, mohabbat.
Mohabbat, besides mohabbat, respect. Respect is even more important, because if he treats her respectfully, if he gives her time, that means he considers her his wife, his partner.
Yes.
Otherwise, she thinks that she is his slave.
Exactly. You know, our culture is different. We moved here, and you know, I don't know what's going on. Everything is mixed up. If you are a woman, they treat you that you have to do everything at home. And then when the time comes, you have to go make money yourself.
Yes.
So, what we should do?
Life has become more expensive because life has become
very expensive.
More sophisticated and more complicated. In Iran, it was much more simple. Therefore, there were less demands. But I think that today in America, one of the things that the people who are coming to this country are encountering is a different definition of love. The definition of love in this country has become influenced by Hollywood. Love is
especially Los Angeles.
Well, love is becoming equal to passion.
Yes.
Passion means physical attraction. And that's not right. Love is so much deeper than that.
What is love?
Love means to care for someone. When you care for someone, you give to them. According to the Jewish religion, that's what love is.
You know,
to
Rabbi
care.
King.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm coming in the middle of your word. Rabbi King, there is always, if you pay attention to your family 24 hours, you're a good woman. But if you want to take time for yourself, they get mad at you. What we should do?
I think one of the best solutions, it's not the only solution, but one of the solutions that will help a husband and wife communicate better and get closer to each other is to go away once or twice a year by themselves without the children, without the cell phone.
Oh, buy together.
Together, for a vacation, for a weekend, for 2-3 days.
Yes.
Without the children, without the cell phone, just by themselves. And they shouldn't wait to do this after 20 years. Because if you wait 20 years to communicate,
you can't communicate anymore.
You will lose feelings.
Exactly.
And how could you bring back feelings if 20 years there was no feelings? So early on, in the very beginning, make time for this. You know what the secret for a successful marriage is?
What is it?
The secret for a successful marriage is treat your marriage at least like you treat your work and your business. Most men want to invest and want to be successful in their business. They want to get ahead. They want to make a lot of money. Isn't marriage just as important or even more important than business? This is your family life. This is your kids, the most important investment. But unfortunately, most men and possibly many women do not look at it as the most important investment in their life. If they would put so much more effort to seek help when help is needed.
And even they put their children in the middle and they abuse their children.
Sure.
What do you think was going to happen for children, for their future?
That's right, yeah.
So the solution is we have to go to the Torah. We have to study.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, that's one idea. One important idea is that a life that is disciplined with Torah values is going to be a holy life. It's going to be a sanctified. It's going to have more purpose and more meaning than just to eat, work, vacation, sleep, luxury, materialism. It's so empty. It's so vain.
Exactly.
So you're right. If you introduce Torah into the life, if you go to classes, you hear lectures on the internet, Torah lectures, then your life will be so enriched. You will begin to see life differently. You will see more meaning in life.
More lights.
More light, of course.
Exactly like that. You are in the, when you don't know Torah or anything, you don't pay attention, like that you are in ocean and there is nothing to save you.
That's right.
Especially in this world.
Oh yes, yes, especially in our generation, in our time. I would add some additional factors
Yes.
that unfortunately are contributing to the destruction of the home, not to the building of the home. One of them is when the parents, the in-laws, mix in. When they intervene, they shouldn't. If you want to intervene, I have a suggestion. If you're a grandfather or grandmother and you want to be involved, take the grandchildren to you and babysit for them while your kids are away.
That's it.
That's, yes, that go ahead.
You're
That,
right.
that you help them with. But don't tell them what to do. Don't destroy the relationship.
Exactly.
If you want to help them, there are other ways to help them, but not by telling them what to do. Unfortunately, many times, the parents make things worse, not better.
I know.
Yeah.
So they have to know where they have to stand, you know. It's not good to tell them what to do all the time.
Sure, sure.
And you were talking about the wedding before you came to the studio with me. Can you talk about that with the
Well, that was
audience
part of
too?
the part of the materialistic outlook that many people have, not just the Persian community, but many have, is making things a lot worse for them as well, because it creates tremendous pressures, as we said earlier. For example, somebody wanting to get married. I asked a young man, why don't you want to get married? He says, I first have to have $50,000 before I can get married.
That's why.
Because I want to have a big wedding, he says. But I told him, tomorrow they'll forget what they ate. Tomorrow, you're going to feed people? You're going to spend so much money to feed people who may not come to see you otherwise a whole year? I recommended to the people of the Persian community that they should send out an invitation where it says, no dinner will be served.
Oh my gosh.
So I asked the people, I asked them, how many people will come to such a wedding? So everybody tells me, very few. You know what? You know who's going to come? Your true friends.
Exactly.
So are you willing to go into debt, borrow money just to feed people who would not come and say hello to you and wish you mazal tov unless you give them food? Think about it for a moment.
Yeah, you're right.
And spend thousands of dollars on flowers that you're not going to use the next day?
Maybe the food just a little bit, not wasted.
Of course, of
wasted.
Course. Of course.
It's
yes.
okay.
Of
But
course.
what about the flowers and the things that they put?
If somebody is very, very wealthy, he's a millionaire, he's entitled. He's allowed to spend more because that's his honor.
Yes.
But I'm talking about the average person who doesn't have so much. Why should he borrow? Why should he feel the pressure for something that is so insignificant? Invest in your marriage. Give to your wife.
Yes.
Give to your children too. But for a big wedding, just to show that you have money, just to impress people, that's totally wrong. It's vain. There's no benefit from this. It's useless. It's a waste of money.
What do you do if the people come to you with the problem for marriage?
The fact that they come to me, that's a good sign.
Thank God.
Thank God. If they come, that means that they want to be helped.
But most of the men doesn't like it to go to somebody.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard for the man to admit that he has a problem. I've heard many times, I don't have any problem.
They say to your wife, you have a problem,
that's right.
you go ahead.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
you are helping them?
Yes. I have, unfortunately, many, many cases where people either call me or they come to me, they meet with me. And I think many people can be helped if they want to be helped.
Exactly.
If they really want to be helped, if they want to have proper guidance, then there's a good chance that they will stay together. It will not be easy. You know why it's not easy? Men sometimes, and women as well, do not work on their character. If
they have an ego.
No, besides ego, if one is stubborn, if one is angry by nature, right? If one is lazy, this nature stays with them for almost all their life.
You mean angry? Angry is nature?
It's part of yes, some people have that in their nature.
What about anger management?
Right. So therefore, if you want to be able to get along with people and be friends and be a good husband, you have to control the anger. You have to learn Torah. Torah teaches you how to control anger. You can go to classes of anger management too. But if you don't do anything, you stay the same. And when you stay the same, the relationship suffers. Because people have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses.
Of course, we
And
are human.
That's right. And if we don't work on those weaknesses, it's not going to be an easy relationship. I know people who realize that they have a problem at home.
Yes.
The woman is very weak in some area, or the other way around. The woman sees her husband weak. And you know what they do? Instead of to fight with them, with the spouse, they keep quiet and they swallow it. They absorb it inside.
Oh, that's not
That's
good.
also no good.
Yeah, make them
Yes.
sick, heart attack.
Exactly. You don't want to argue. That's very nice of you. But
Yes.
if you have a problem, don't swallow it. Seek help. Seek guidance from a professional, especially a Torah professional, who can give you the proper outlook, the proper way according to the Torah. It will make so much of a difference. When people go to class, they change. There's a chance that they will become better people.
You have a classes for the people that they married already or before they get married?
For people who want help in relationships, I can help them, I can guide them before they get married and after they get married. Sure, both. People who want to come for a regular class, they can come on Wednesday nights. I have a Wednesday night class that's already going on for 20 years.
Oh, that's great.
And men and women come of all ages, and they can learn about many, many topics.
Where is your classes?
In the Etz Jacob building. It's in our synagogue. And they're welcome to come. It begins at 9 p.m. every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And Baruch Hashem, we've covered many topics of which they're welcome to see on YouTube.
Yes.
And on EnglishTorahTapes.com.
Oh, so you have your classes all the time in YouTube?
Many of them are on YouTube. I have not put all of them yet, but EnglishTorahTapes.com.
EnglishTorahTapes.com
has all the audio lectures, not the video. So EnglishTorahTapes.com, they look for my name, they can see hundreds of classes on many topics, including Kabbalah, astrology, husband-wife relationships.
That's
great.
Sure. So you don't have to trip. You know, you can watch it. On the biggest things that you can see in the marriage, is it that the wife and husband has to understand each other? What is it? Is it the biggest thing?
Well, many times communication is faulty. It's poor. They don't understand each other, or they don't communicate enough. So that's definitely part of the problem. But that's not enough by itself, because many times there's misunderstandings.
Yes.
Even if you communicate. What's important, I tell people to adopt. Give the other person the benefit of the doubt. If there's one lesson I can give over tonight, it's this.
Yes.
Besides the good advice that we proposed, guidance, classes, respect, no matter. Besides that, if there's one lesson I can give over tonight which will help people in life, not only at home, in life, give the other person the benefit of the doubt. That's an English expression. Try to judge them favorably. When you see something you don't like, think of it, maybe she forgot. Maybe she didn't realize. Maybe she doesn't know better. Maybe she doesn't know how to do it. Maybe she wasn't taught. There's so many ways to give the person the benefit of the doubt.
Positive thinking.
Positive thinking. And now the question is, okay, how am I going to correct it? At least you didn't get upset. When you gave the benefit of the doubt, you allowed yourself to be tolerant. Tolerant of people that are different than you.
Yeah.
Just because people are different doesn't mean that they're wrong.
No.
Yeah, people are different. So if you judge them positively, favorably, you will be able to get along with almost anybody in the world.
Do you think what time of the day or what time is good to talk with your husband or your wife about the problems?
Not when the husband is hungry.
Exactly.
If he comes home, no. If he
How
comes
about
home,
the woman? They never get hungry?
they get hungry for attention.
I know that. So
it's important. You raised a very good point.
Yes.
It's important to communicate when things are calm, at the right time. Very important.
Yeah.
And you have to know how to do it. You have to be tactful. You don't have to be you have to be careful not to be too aggressive. You have to not threaten.
Yes.
There's a way to do it. If you want to succeed, you have to learn this. It's a language, the language of communicating properly, tactfully, in a refined way. And if a person does this, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a nice, lasting relationship.
Exactly.
Even though he may have issues, there may be difficulties. Maybe his wife is not so neat and organized, and he is. Get a maid. Don't blame her for all the problems. There are solutions for almost every problem. Sometimes the solutions require money.
Most of the time.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
The rest of the time, you could, if you're patient and you're tolerant and
Yes.
you ask for help, you may find a solution, you know.
Hey, Rabbikin, when you are built up with a lot of problems, for example, the wife at home, with the children, with the job, or this, or that, and you want to communicate, how you make yourself calm when you are very, very upset? How you can talk with your husband?
You drink a glass of chai.
Chai?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. No, yeah, a lot of times people talk when they're not calm, so they are not effective in communicating. When you're not calm, you're not going to be the same. Never talk when you're angry. It's important to calm down. But
Walk away.
How do you calm down? Yes, either walk away, go for a walk.
Yes, I do.
Have a drink.
I do that.
People know themselves. People
Yes.
should figure out on their own what will make them calm. Many times when I see a situation that is becoming not controllable, everybody's upset, I immediately change subject.
Oh, that's the best.
Change subject, because like this, all of a sudden everybody forgets about the problem. Change the subject. But you have to be calm if you want to calm the other one down. If the two people are not
Yes.
calm, it's going to be a big problem.
What about children? Is it good that in front of the children argue and say bad word about your husband or wife in front of your children?
Well, obviously not. You know, it's never good to argue, even if you're by yourself. The more so, if you're in front of people, your own kids, what are they going to learn from it? But you know what? It's very hard to control sometimes.
I know.
A husband or a wife sometimes they're so tense.
Stress out.
They forget the kids are there. What I suggest is, if you made a mistake like that and you argued in front of the kids or not in front of the kids, at least 10, 15 minutes later, say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You see, if you're able to say I'm sorry
You
10,
put a
15
knife
minutes
in
later,
somebody's heart and then you say sorry?
it makes a difference. Because if you are sincere,
Yes.
if you are sincere and you tell the person, I'm going to make up for it, I'm really sorry, it was my mistake, it was my fault. The spouse, the husband, they know if this is true or if this is fake. If you say I'm sorry every day, then it's going to be cheap.
It's not going to work.
It's going to be cheap. But
Yes.
if a mistake happens, you argued, you got upset, angry in front of kids, not in front of kids, in front of people, not in front of people, in front of the guest,
Yes.
at least later on say, I'm sorry, I'll try not to do it again. I lost my calm, I'll make it up for you. I'll take you out to dinner. You got to find a way to fix your mistake and to admit it and to say, I'm sorry.
What about that when you talk, the person in front of you start to say something that make you build up and start to fight? You know what I mean?
Sure, that happens many times, that a person was calm in the beginning, but because of what the other person begins
Yes.
to say, it makes him very upset and angry, and it reaches the boiling point.
Yes.
That's why I said before, one of the most important things for a successful marriage is guidance.
Exactly.
And when you get guidance, you will be told various tips. One tip is, be careful not to make the other person too upset. Be careful to say what you want to say in a calm way. This is one of the tips. Otherwise, you're right. These things happen. They get them so upset.
And the real subject is forget.
Yes, we are not angels. We're only human.
No, most of men or women do that. They make a sin, so you
Yeah.
forget what was the subject,
Yeah.
and nothing happened.
And that is why when we're talking about learning, we should never forget about consistency and regularity. Don't learn once a year. Learn once a week at least.
Yes.
And in this way, you're continuously reminded of what's important in life and what's totally not important.
Yeah.
Marriage is very important.
is very important.
Marriage, a successful marriage.
Sorry that our time is finished, and I'm very glad you come here tonight.
Likewise, it's a pleasure.
با تشکر فراوان از جناب ربای الیا هوکین، بینندگان عزیز با ما همراه باشین. Thank you so much.
Thank you.